A sandstorm sweeps across Egypt. Buried deep in a cave near Nag Hammadi, a clay jar, and inside, a forgotten manuscript. Not a novel, not a textbook, but words, older than scripture, older than memory, not written to convince, not spoken to impress. These words remain hidden from the noise of the world and reveal themselves only in stillness. They call it the Gospel of Thomas. But it is not a gospel like the others. No stories of miracles, no childhood, no cross, no empty tomb, only words, only sayings, like leaps into invisible light, like mirrors that do not explain, but open. It is said these words were passed on in secret, from mouth to ear, from heart to heart. And now, after centuries of silence, they are here again, not loud, not boastful, but like a whisper from the depths, calling to those who are ready to listen. There is a gospel that is different. It doesn't tell stories, it asks questions. No miracles are described. No events are commented on. No places are named. Instead, a stream of sayings, a flow of sentences that feel like riddles or like mirrors. 114 sayings, attributed to a voice that has echoed through human existence for over 2,000 years. A call, fragmented, yet clear. Not something to be explained, but something to be remembered. These are the secret words which the Living One spoke, and Didymos Judas Thomas wrote them down. That is how the Gospel of Thomas begins. And already in the very first line, it becomes clear. This is not about external truths, not about systems of belief, not about power or history, but about the inner world, the hidden, that which can only be found by the one who truly seeks. When something is quiet, it's easy to overlook. When something is free, it's easy to suppress. And when something reaches too deep, even religion itself may be afraid of it. The Gospel of Thomas was not burned. It was forgotten, set aside. Not because it was wrong, but perhaps because it was too direct. Because it says, you need no intermediaries, no dogma, no structure. The light is already within you. And those who seek will find, not out there, but within themselves. The early councils chose different texts, different portrayals of Jesus, more visible, more controllable, more tangible. The Gnostic writings didn't fit. Too open, too radical, too silent. And so the Gospel of Thomas faded like a glowing coal beneath ashes, almost lost. For centuries, it remained silent, buried beneath dust, beneath fear, beneath power. Then, December 1945, the Second World War ends. A world stumbles, burned out by noise, violence, and ideology. What remains is silence. Not peaceful silence, but emptiness. Destruction everywhere. And just then, almost unnoticed, something else happens. A shepherd in Egypt. Following his animal, he steps into a cave near Nag Hammadi. There, a clay jar, buried, forgotten, sealed for centuries. And inside, not weapons, not power, not history, but words, quiet words, like embers beneath the ashes, like a whisper amid the ruins of the world, not loud, not political, but alive. A gospel that does not speak of war, but of awakening. A call, not addressed to nations, but to the individual. To what remains in us when everything else has crumbled. Self-knowledge as divine knowledge. Gnosis is not knowledge you find in books, not a doctrine, not a possession. Gnosis is recognition, a returning to something you never truly lost. The Gnostic texts say, "You are not merely a creature. There is a spark within you, a divine origin, veiled but not extinguished." And when you recognize it, not with the mind, but with your entire being, the return begins, not into an afterlife, but into the depths of your own being. Whoever comes to know himself will know that he is from the light. Gnosis is not a concept. It is an awakening, a glimpse of what still shines in you, even if you've forgotten it. The Gnostics do not say, "Believe and you will be saved." They say, "Know, and you will remember that you were never separate." In the Gnostic texts, Jesus does not appear as a ruler, not as a judge, not as a figure of power. He appears as a mirror, as a guide back to the light within, as a voice calling to you, not toward him, but back to yourself. Not, "Follow me, I will save you," but, "Know yourself, and you will be free." In Gnosis, Jesus is not worshipped. He is seen as one who reminds you of your origin in the light. Of the light that still sleeps in the depth of your being. The kingdom is within you, and it is outside of you. When you come to know yourselves, you will be known. He speaks like a teacher who does not instruct, but awakens. Like a sage who does not give answers, but asks questions that set you in motion. And perhaps this is his most hidden gift. Not that you admire him, but that you recognize yourself again in the light that shines through him. We live in a time where everything is loud, yet almost nothing touches us. Countless voices, but little silence. So much information, but so little understanding. Much religion, but little return. In a world where humanity is slowly losing itself, the words of the Gospel of Thomas sound like a quiet call from the depths. A call that does not speak to your opinion, but to your heart. If you bring forth what is within you, It will save you. These words do not demand belief. They invite remembrance. They do not say, "Follow blindly." They say, "Look within. Remember the light and be transformed." Perhaps it is these forgotten texts that can lead us back today, not to a new religion, but to an old truth that was never truly gone. This is not a doctrine, not a course, not a finished system. It is an invitation, a journey, one that doesn't begin out there, but within. In the episodes to come, we'll walk through the sayings one by one. 114 gates. Some are closed, some are open, some as clear as a still lake, others as dark as a night without stars. We'll read them together, not to dissect them, but to truly enter them, not just to analyze, but to listen, to feel, to remember. Each saying becomes its own video, with images that do not explain, but open, with scenes that create space for you to find yourself again. Not to understand everything, but to let something inside you begin to resonate. Maybe you'll feel confused at times, maybe moved, maybe suddenly silent. All of it belongs, because this series is not a lecture, it is a way home. Whoever finds the meaning of these words will not taste death. That is the first saying. No commentary, no explanation, only a doorway. The first door stands open, not out in the world, but within you. If something in you is ready, let us walk through it together.